Close to 40 years ago, a group of devout Christians in this community decided that it would be best to start a new school. And they wanted a school that would recognize Jesus as Lord. And we still have that same mission. We want a school with excellent academics that also recognizes Jesus as the Lord of everything. We want to prepare our students for what God is calling them to be. So if it's a doctor, a scientist, or a farmer, or a mechanic, I believe that we have to provide excellent academics that will prepare them for what God is calling them to be. And then we have to combine that by inspiring them to serve God in that field. I don't want to just turn out an excellent doctor. I want a Christian doctor, someone that is determined to integrate their faith into what God has called them to do and to be.
One of my favorite things about CVC and what I think makes it special is the ability to have the small size classes. When my children can receive the individualized attention that they need. I have 4 children and they all have different needs, and those small class sizes are really what help them to get to know the teacher, and they help the teacher get to know them. Another thing that I think is special about CVC is that each of their teachers is a Christian, and that faith integration comes through in their lessons. It's not just a Bible verse that's tacked on at the end, or prayer at the beginning of the day, or chapel once a day. It's through all their lessons.
This might be kind of an old metaphor, but I think it still applies. We often talk about the 3-legged stool of church, home, and school. And we feel that a child is best served if what they're learning at school is also what they're getting taught at home, what they're getting taught in their youth group at church, what they're hearing from the pulpit on Sunday morning. And so, that child is best served when all 3 of those entities are working in harmony.
As I see my children develop, I can see their maturity. Not only academically, but also spiritually. And that's something that I give a lot of credit to CVC to, and to their teachers, the administrators, the ones that have cared for my students, that see them 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And they've invested that time into my children, and that has really paid off in the way that they are maturing as Christians, they are maturing as students, and it's something that they can go out into the world and they are prepared to face.
I felt like I was always challenged to give my absolute best when I was here. In the classroom, the teachers expected you to do your best. They expected you to do your work. They expected you to show up every day ready to do good work. I played a lot of sports when I was here at CVC, and every single coach that I had the same message. It was that we were going to give our absolute best at everything we did, and it was all for the glory of God. As I left CVC and I went on to college and started my career, that's kind of come with me, and that's kind of followed me, is I need to be ready every single day to put my best foot forward and do everything I can, because that's a way to worship, and that's a way that I can praise God and really put to use the skills and talents that God's given me.
I think there's a one word that people often use to describe CVC, and that's the word community. I think that's true with parents, but it's also true with our student body. We see that in classrooms, we see that as we gather for chapel, we see that at athletic events. I think it's a school where the students like to have a good time with each other. And they're also, I think, a student body from elementary school through high school that takes seriously this command from the Bible to love God and love their neighbor. And there again, you have this aspect of, we're in this together, and this is a community, and we definitely are a group that pulls for each other.
The CVC community goes above and beyond almost daily in that they show up. They show up to help one another, whether it's in prayer, whether it's an event that is going on, a banquet, a fundraiser, a sporting event. They show up and they're willing to give support. And it doesn't always have to be financially. It can be through just being there, just saying, how can I help you? They give of their time. They give of their resources. And they're just willing to help support in whatever way that they can.
I don't think there was ever a time when I was at CVC when I didn't feel like there were people around me that were supporting me, that wanted to see me succeed. I just always felt that our teachers made time for us, and if we had something going on or we needed to talk about, they always made themselves available. The coaches are invested in students, the families are actively involved, and it's a community based around Christ's love. And I think it's really rare to have that kind of community, especially on a campus in a school. And I think that's really empowering and impactful.
If you're a Christian mother, father, and you have a dream for your child, you have a picture of what you want that child to be when they're graduating from high school. And inevitably, you would want that child to be academically prepared, you would want them to be spiritually mature, you would want them to be socially adjusted. Why wouldn't you choose a school that wants all those same things for your child?